Not every NFL star that's playing in the league right now is going to make it into Canton.
He's not a Hall of Famer.
Okay, he's not
Maybe
right
compared
now.
to golf.
I agree with. I think he's building a case that's not quite there yet, but could get there.
Would they get into Canton if they called it quits today? Here are 10 active NFLers who need one more great season to lock down their spots in Canton. And a big shout out to user HT8HU2OG2X for suggesting a similar idea that inspired this video. Matthew Stafford. Before his trade to the Los Angeles Rams, Stafford always felt like a super long shot to qualify for Canton. But, after winning a Super Bowl 56 title in his first year with his new team, the Hall of Fame debate strongly opened up. Stafford has never really been a top 5 quarterback in the game. He has no individual accolades and surprisingly has just the one Pro Bowl nod on his resume, and that was way back when in 2014. But barring an early retirement, Stafford should finish top 10 all-time in career passing yards and passing touchdowns. Model of consistency like Stafford should always garner some consideration, pure and simple. Stafford's 2022 season was cut short by injuries, but if he can stay healthy and have one more MVP-like season, something close to a 5,000-yard campaign and or another deep postseason run, we bet that he gets in. 2 or 3 more productive enough years will probably let him in. But honestly, he's just one more vintage Stafford season away from cementing the case. DeAndre Hopkins. If injuries and a 6-game suspension didn't limit Hopkins to 19 total games over the last 2 years, his Hall of Fame case would look a lot better by now. From 2015 to 2020, Hopkins was unquestionably a top 5 wideout in the game. But he doesn't have any individual awards on his resume, and he's only led the NFL in one major receiving category. That was in 2017 when he led the league in touchdown receptions. Further complicating Hopkins' case is the aforementioned 6-game suspension in 2022 for violating the NFL's PED policy. That hurts his case a bit, and it's now on D-Hop to repair that damage. He just needs to put one more finishing touch. If he were to retire today, it would be hard to justify putting Hopkins in given the lack of individual accomplishments and the fact that he's not yet top 20 all-time in really any major receiving category. At any rate, Hopkins is just one more elite season away from silencing the doubters and guaranteeing himself a gold jacket. Whether that's a 1,500-yard season, an award-winning season, or some sort of Super Bowl ring, Hopkins has been consistently good long enough to warrant consideration. Derrick Henry. NFL running backs don't have the consistency and longevity anymore. The position is devalued and they just seem to break down a lot easier than guys from the past era like Frank Gore, LaDainian Tomlinson, and Adrian Peterson did. So with that all being said, we are hopeful that the Canton Committee will lower the expectations and bar for running backs. Look, it's not their fault that the NFL is a much more pass-happy league. If Derrick Henry retired today, we'd like to think that he'd get in. He is his own breed of RB. A one-man tank who runs like, well, a running back, but bulldozes over guys like he's an offensive lineman. With 2 rushing titles, a 2K rushing season, and 2020 Offensive Player of the Year honors on his resume, Henry already has a pretty compelling case. But one more ultra-dominant year should seal the deal. Whether that's something close to another 2K season, another individual award or 2, a rushing title, or even a Super Bowl ring, Henry is just this close to placing himself in the Hall of Fame. One more season, reminiscent of what we saw in 2019 and 2020, will get him there. CJ Mosley. A year ago, we would not have included Mosley on this list. But after missing all but 2 games in 2019 and opting out of the 2020 season because of COVID-19 concerns, he has stayed healthy over the last 2 years. After a meh 2021 campaign, Mosley turned back the clock and enjoyed another Pro Bowl year for the New York Giants in 2022. Mosley earned both his 5th Pro Bowl and 5th second-team All-Pro nods after tallying 7 pass defenses and 158 combined tackles, the second-best mark of his career. He's been in the league for a while now, but Mosley is only entering his age 31 season. And as Levante David, Demario Davis, and Bobby Wagner have shown, age really is just a number for linebackers. Mosley obviously had his best years with John Harbaugh's Baltimore Ravens, but he has slowly but surely found his top form again under Robert Saleh. We're sure he's got a few quality seasons left in him, but Mosley has done enough to the point where one more All-Pro caliber year should be enough to get in. And even if the position is dying, Mosley should still be enshrined in Canton if he can produce one more elite season. Lane Johnson. Johnson has always been a pro football focused darling. But fair or not, he didn't start getting more love and recognition until 2017. That year, he earned his first career Pro Bowl and first team All-Pro selections. And of course, he was instrumental in helping the Eagles win Super Bowl 52 with a backup quarterback in Nick Foles. Fast forward to 2023, and Johnson is now a 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team All-Pro, and 1-time second team All-Pro. Oh, and he helped Philly to another Super Bowl appearance in the 2022 season. Johnson is, of course, just one of many great offensive linemen of this era. He wasn't even the best offensive tackle for the Eagles for much of his career, as that notion belonged to Canton himself and Jason Peters. Johnson still remains an absolute rock on that Philadelphia offensive line, and it feels like just one more All-Pro nod will help Johnson lock down his case as a future member of the Hall of Fame. Or, another deep playoff run that culminates in another Super Bowl appearance or two could go a long way as well. Johnson showed in 2022 that he still has plenty of good football left in him, so he's got plenty of time to strengthen that Canton case. Stefan Gilmore. Gilmore was a borderline Pro Bowl cornerback during his 5 years with the Buffalo Bills, but he took his game to a Hall of Fame-like level after joining the New England Patriots in 2017. Of course, if Gilmore had always played at an All-Pro-like level before his Patriot days, his Hall of Fame case would be a slam dunk. The positives for Gilmore: the individual accolades are there, 5 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro selections, a Super Bowl 53 championship, and, of course, 2019 Defensive Player of the Year award honors. Also good news, Gilmore was still a great cornerback for the Indianapolis Colts in his age 32 season. He should be at least borderline elite in his upcoming age 33 season with the Dallas Cowboys, especially with fellow All-Pro Trayvon Diggs at his side. But the key word is should. Earning one more Pro Bowl and All-Pro nod, or even another Super Bowl or Defensive Player of the Year award, should lock the case down. Darius Slay. After a mediocre first season with the Philadelphia Eagles in 2020, Slay has bounced back and regained his superstar-like form over the last 2 years. With that, his Hall of Fame case is very much open once again. Slay's tremendous play with the lowly Detroit Lions team was often overlooked, but he has gotten more recognition playing on a big market and successful team like the Eagles. It was the quarterback duo of Slay and James Bradbury who played instrumental roles in helping the Eagles to a Super Bowl 57 appearance after all. In 2022, big play Slay earned his 5th Pro Bowl selection of his career. Among active NFL players, he's also just outside the top 5 in interceptions. Slay has been an elite lockdown corner and a grade A ball hawker. The fact that he was so dominant on the Lions is a testament to his all-world skills. To us, he'd be a borderline Hall of Famer if he retired today. But just one more season as good as the ones we saw in 2022, or at least very close to it, should definitely put him in. Mike Evans. Consistency is the word that best summarizes Evans' chances of getting into the Hall. 9 straight 1,000-yard seasons to begin his career, an NFL record, and that was with mediocre quarterback play for his first 6 years until Tom Brady finally came to town in 2020. Evans is a 4-time Pro Bowler with the stats to entice Canton voters. The thing is, he has never been a top 5 receiver in the game, and he hasn't led the NFL in any major receiving categories. The Super Bowl 55 champion ring definitely helps his case, but it just feels like Evans will need one more elite year in the post-TB12 era to leave the Canton committee without hesitation. Khalil Mack. Mack was on a Hall of Fame trajectory over his first 5 NFL seasons. From 2015 to 2018, he had 49 total sacks and the 2016 Defensive Player of the Year award on his resume. But over the next 4 years, Mack's play was marred by injuries and inconsistent play. He hasn't had a double-digit sack season since 2018. As nice as those 7 Pro Bowl nods may look on a resume, statistics do not lie. 100 sacks is no longer a plateau that essentially guarantees you a spot in Canton. Robert Quinn, Carlos Dunlap, and Justin Houston have hit that mark, but most certainly won't get in. Now on the wrong side of 30, how many more productive years does Mack actually have left in him? That remains to be seen, but we are very confident that he would not get into the Hall if he retired today. Mack is going to have one more great season. Let's say a double-digit sack campaign or a deep playoff run with his Los Angeles Chargers to get in. But at this trajectory, hard to buy it. It's gonna be on Mack to prove us wrong here. Odell Beckham Jr. Different eras, yes, but if wide receivers like Lynn Swann and Drew Pearson are in the Hall of Fame with inferior numbers to those of Odell Beckham Jr., then why can't he one day be given the nod to Canton as well? A lot of folks say that to meet the Hall of Fame criteria, you need to be a top 5 at your position for a considerable period of time. Well, Beckham was a top 5 wide receiver in the game from 2014 to 2018 with Eli Manning, not exactly elite, as his quarterback. Do not fault Beckham Beckham for a disappointing 2.5-year tenure at the Cleveland Browns, which was derailed for good once he went down with a torn ACL in the 2020 season. It's not exactly like Baker Mayfield lit it up as the Browns QB either. Don't fault Beckham that he missed the entire 2022 season recovering from a torn ACL that he suffered in Super Bowl 56, which his Los Angeles Rams won, by the way. Now, what if we told you that entering 2023, Beckham was tied with Marvin Harrison for 10th all-time in career receiving yards per game at 76.7. That's even higher than the GOAT Jerry Rice and other Hall of Famers in Terrell Owens, Michael Irvin, and Randy Moss. Another Pro Bowl-like season, or even another Super Bowl ring, should be more than enough to get Beckham in. His case is already strong enough, but he'll lock it down for sure with just one more vintage OBJ season. But what other NFL players need just one more great season to make it into the Hall of Fame? Let us know in the comment section below. If you like this video and learned a thing or two, clicking the like button helps out a ton, and hey, we appreciate it. If this is your first time coming around to TPS though, subscribing is a great idea, because we put out videos like this every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.